we're back at Davy's studio today and here with Emma. Hello. And we are going to be reviewing all three of the films that we're currently working on with Davy. The Borneo film has had its final touches, the Iceland film he's been working on, and we're going to be presenting him with the Shared Space film. And basically going to be going into it with zero sort of context to see what his impressions are of it. Davy, are you excited for the Shared Space film?
No, very much. It sounds like a really big puzzle.
Yeah.
And I love big puzzles. I really do. Yeah. So I'm curious, man, to see what's up.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can solve it. But first,
solve the puzzle.
I'm gonna do this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Take out the poop.
Yeah. There's people allergic to cats. So I'm gonna
Yeah, allergic to cats. Love cats, but allergic to cats. Yeah, the Shared Space film, this one, Davy has not really seen any of it. Actually, he's seen nothing of it. So I think this is kind of a key factor of working with an external editor. As Emma's been creating the structure and the base for this film and seen all the footage, we've seen it for months. Davy's going into it with no impressions and no context, so that way he can look at the puzzle, see how it is, and see if he gets what we have had in mind for creating this film. And then we'll just take it away from there, kind of just brainstorm like what the intention of the film is and how to continue to improve it. A lot of work has gone into this one so far, and really excited to get into it with Davy and Emma and no cats.
I'm super grateful to be able to do this work. I'm living my best life.
Guys, so one of the things that I really recognized more recently is how important it is to collaborate and work with other people. Sometimes as filmmakers and photographers, we think, oh, we can do all this by ourselves and we've got all the time that we need. But the truth is, in the reality, if you want to go somewhere fast, you go by yourself. If you want to go far, you go together. And I know it's a pretty cheesy proverb or cliche thing to say, but I've really started to learn this a lot more in the past couple of years, and especially now working with new people on the films that we've been producing and getting new perspectives and getting creatively inspired by how other people look at things and what they can bring into it that you never thought of before. And just get so stoked on what is possible by working with other people. And sometimes there can be that little activation energy, of getting on the same page and explaining, but at some point it just becomes quick. You start to really, flow together. And, we're working on 3 films with Davy. And a couple of months ago, we had no idea who he was. We shot all of this stuff before we even had any idea that we were going to work with another editor. But then we decided, okay, it's time to bring in some new perspectives, to bring in outside concepts, to forget about the ego of we can do everything by ourselves and really just make something epic and amazing. And we're just so inspired and so stoked with that I think if you're not doing this, if you're not working with other people, you're really missing out on what is possible to create. And I think that can be a limiting factor for us. Sometimes we think, we can just do it all. But truth is, it's better to do it together. And just very stoked with what we've been creating so far. We've been so close to this footage and this material for these films. Emma has spent all of this time, setting everything up. And that's also what's pretty crucial is, putting in the background work to go through all of the footage, to, of course, shoot it. We shot all of this footage for all of these films, but also just really putting in the time to go through everything and setting up that foundation. Because as much as this is an epic puzzle, all of these films, for someone to come in who's got no context about them, it is also really important that you have the right puzzle pieces together and that they're available to be digested and watched and looked at to be able to create something. And that's what Davey's done so far. You know, he's taken all the puzzle pieces that we put together, the foundation, and he's able to really just put it in a new format that we never could have thought of. And we're just so stoked with that. And I just wish I could show you the whole thing so far, but it's not ready yet. It's not done, but it's going to be coming. And really excited that it's going to be something that we're going to be able to distribute with Leica as well, being a partner on this film. And it's coming to you very soon. So yeah, very excited about that. Can't wait to get into the next film. Really curious to see what Davey is going to think of that and all the groundwork that we've put into the shared space.
Over the past 3-4 decades, the amount of pressure that we have put on natural lands and natural resources have fragmented.
But yeah, I guess you had a lot of footage to work with. So well done on like cutting this to 40 minutes.
Yeah. So
Insane. Yeah.
Small scenes that both establishes their conflict.
You start to like slowly connect the dots.
We already are planning for a screening in
How much time everything needs to take. Because then underneath
two pretty much, but what I wanted to look at is
like less information, that's good.
yeah.
Losing the
without losing the depth.
With all of this, you know, we've been reviewing this film and walking through some of the things that we want to change in it, and it's really exciting to be at a point where we can just come up with new ideas, new concepts, and just also acknowledging how much we've like learned and how much we are learning, because I started off as a photographer having really no experience in film, and just continuously develop and building that and learning so much from the people around that we work with, and just really excited to share what we are creating.
These were my thoughts.
Yeah. Well, good job with that. Hello. Yes. Yeah, just finished an absolutely massive day of reviewing these films and wrapping on reviewing for the shared space. And I have to say that looking back on this, we have severely underestimated how much time goes into anything like this. You know, we've spent months and months traveling all over the world filming for this film, and Emma has spent weeks and hours and so many days, I think at least 40 days, months, forever. No, but weeks, at least like 40 days reviewing every single scene that we've shot, every single interview, and going through the translations and just making sure we have an understanding of where everything is. And she's made this massive board of every scene and cut down everything, and it just takes so much work. So at the same time that, you know, we can create something and we have the motivation to make it, and we sometimes underestimate how long it will take, it's just still worth it in the end, because, you know, the stories that we're telling stories that are so important about climate, nature, coexistence, and living on a planet where we all have to be in this together. And the film that we're creating now is all about that. And it makes it feel worthwhile that we're actually able to execute that. So it doesn't matter that it takes us weeks or days or hours to actually get into doing it. And I think that's the thing that I really want to stress, that if, you know, you're facing that same wall, trying to make something, and it's taking really long time, and you're underestimating it, and you're you know, facing all these struggles, it's just really important that you finish it, that you put it out there into the world, and that you're able to execute it so that people get the message and get the motivation and the inspiration to care more about our planet. And yeah, if you're struggling out there, just join the club. Yeah.
Actually, like, if you like, I think a lesson, or okay, I don't want to talk lesson, but like, actually, I think what we're just talking about with Davey is very relevant. It is also about building a business that allows you to push through with these projects that might take up more time, Because like a simple thing that we were just chatting with Davey about is like you and I are both on the payroll of our company. So we've built a business that has a variety of income streams that allows us to be on monthly salaries. So therefore we're not dependent on if a project suddenly takes, instead of 7 days, it takes 40 days to edit something. We've built a business that allows us the freedom to still push that through because we care, because we want to. But I think a lot of filmmakers could be in a position where they have to abandon a project because they then have to prioritize other work, which I think we have been in that position as well. But it's about getting to the phase where you have that room to play with, which is built on the fact that we have a multi-income stream business.
We've spent a lot of time trying to build those multi-income stream businesses, and I think that, yeah.
If you want to relate it back to business, because I think it's important to talk about passion and care and wanting to tell these stories for nature, but I think you can't. That's important.
Yeah.
And that's the motivation. But I feel like talking about that without acknowledging the business side of it.
That's true.
You have to acknowledge that side of it too.
Yeah. I don't know if it's so much as that, but it's also like working on a team as well, and like coming together with people who really care. But at the end of the day, it really has to also be about building an income stream that is not dependent. Passion
matters so much. Passion and motivation matters so much. But you have to see it as like, you have to see your business as a business, as simple as it is. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I was thinking when I heard you talk about passion and motivation and telling stories for nature. It's like, yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
but
it's ideal.
It's like, it's idealistic, right?
I think the sort of main lesson here is that, we've gotten creative with trying to find ways to fund our films. And at the end of the day, that's what you have to do. You have to figure out ways to get creative, to find partnerships, to work to build a team. And that's what we're striving towards. So just sharing what that means and the journey along the way. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are maybe watching this that are also in the same position that we talked about, like you're struggling to finish your project, struggling to get funding for it. Would be really curious to know what you're working on and what your passion projects are, and just be great to learn what else everyone else is up to. So please share anything that you're working on below in the comments. Send me a message. I would love to hear more about what you're working on, especially if it has to do with nature, the environment, storytelling with wildlife, anything like that. Please share. Love to learn. Cheers.